Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation, because if you're going through it like Ewan and I have done, and Carissa will one day learn and realize, going back to school, it's not just about the celebrations, the fun, the excitement. It comes with a huge amount of anxiety. How are we going to cover the costs? It is a massive, massive investment. Today, we are diving into what that takes. And it's not just, you've got stationery, you've got school uniforms. A blazer costs 1,000 Rand.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what I'm saying. So you best know where the second-hand shops are. You best make friends in the second-hand shops. There are so many pitfalls, but if you can approach it with a bit of planning, and every family's got a plan, it can be mitigated. I've got to ask you, buddy, because you're further along the line than I am, so you've been through the pain a little bit more than I have.
My eldest Kian is now grade 7.
Wow.
Last year at primary school, I can't believe it. And Dominic's grade 4. Wow. So it's a lot if you think about it. But I mean, you know, we all go through the same thing. But I mean, obviously there's your books, your coverings that you need to do. It's the stationery that's quite pricey as well. It's the clothes, because they grow like something ridiculous. I don't know why.
For some reason, all my son's PT stuff is white.
Everything. I mean, they deteriorate, but they use it so long. So I think for me, it's just about, I normally look at it, so as the year ends and towards the year ending, I already think about the beginning of next year, and I try to put away a little bit of money here and there, because I know what is going to happen. I know that there's going to be stationery. I know that there's going to be plastics and book coverings and everything in between. The one thing that I forgot to prep for and plan for was school shoes.
I was there the day before we went back to school to buy.
I was like, they need school shoes. We tried it on, my wife and I. We're like, okay, they really need new school shoes.
And these are also expensive, hey?
They're pricey, yeah.
Because they're meant to last. They're built to last.
They are built to last, but they use them so much
and they also grow so ridiculously quickly, man. What are we feeding our children that they grow so much? But it becomes almost, for us, it's hard conversations about what to sacrifice over this period, because what is more important. And schooling, let's be honest, when you start looking at your long-term financial profile, that's got to be one of your biggest considerations, is how we're going to cover the school fees for the next 10 to 15 years. It's a big, hectic thing in that sense, man.
I'm really grateful to my parents, because when I think about it now, I went to really good schools. I was in aftercare too, because, I mean, they worked, obviously, until 5, 6 o'clock. I did after-school murals and activities, from drama to... I wouldn't touch on sports, because we never did that. But
you play sports now.
Everything else, I play sports now. Okay, I'm in the leagues, but we did so much. I also did A-levels at some point, so it was just constant expenses. And I can just imagine, like, having to come to them every other day. Oh, there's another thing. Oh, there's another. And civvies, you had to pay for that too.
There's always little extra bits and pieces, with especially with regards to the beginning.
I don't know. I don't think maybe speak to us in March.
Okay is a strong word.
March is probably a good time to speak. But I think an important element is also to involve your kids in the process of, because this is when they can start to understand real value. Why do we drive this car? Why do we do things in this way? Let them understand, so that they can get that culture of saving, of prioritizing down when they're at that age.
And reusing as well. So I think I mean, like you touched on it earlier on. You know, things like, there are things that are unavoidable. You know, if you can get a good pair of school shoes, you know, that's, you know, because kids grow so quick that hardly used a school shoe, you know, you can try and go for something like that.
So you've got 2 boys, so hand-me-downs is always a
but
possibility.
the problem is this vast difference between the two of them.
True.
By the time Dominic reaches the end of primary school, he will most probably not yet even fit in Kian's shoes, because Kian's at the point where he's wearing my shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy.
So things are unavoidable, like stationery. These things you're going to have to buy new and stuff. But when it comes to clothes, that is where you can start thinking and swapping and all of that kind of thing.
And second-hand shopping.
And there is a culture within a lot of schools to help you as well in that sense. And food. I don't think we realize. So we talk about the food security and insecurity in the schooling space and how vitally important it is. But that's something that every parent goes through. Every single parent has to go there, sit there at the beginning of the week and go, okay, how am I going to feed my child the right kind of nutrients over this week? Because it's easy to go and feed your child cheaply, but then you realize what you're putting into their body. And they've got to literally do as much as we do within their day.
Absolutely.
My kids' schedule, especially my eldest Jack's schedule now, is probably the busiest out of all of us at the start of the year, which is great. And our work is busy, you know, so there's so many considerations. But for me, it just becomes maybe a great way of everyone investing within the family. And that's why it's important for the kids to know that we're doing this. We're not going there this weekend and doing this.
Right.
We're not buying this thing because we made a choice to invest it in your schooling or in your new blazer, or let them understand.
That's very helpful, actually. I never thought about that. If I understood the value of it younger, I think I would have been more grateful and understanding when the nose came.
But don't worry, kids still will never understand
No,
that.
it's
I'm done with it sometimes.
Don't meal prep for your kids, Graham.
Exactly. So,
We'll
so
be
now
there
you can plan.
Yeah, I've got a
Hopefully
good,
you've got
like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 year plan ahead of me. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely putting away money because then it's university afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never stops.
Look, I think for a lot of people it's very difficult to think that far ahead,
Yeah.
you know, but it's because for me, the way that things are, I mean, you try and think about just, okay, the next year, how are we going to do this? I want to prep a little bit for this and that. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it is important, like I said, to think about the bigger picture as well. So, I mean, parents, you're not alone in this.
At all.
We all go through it. But what you can do is you can visit absa.co.za for expert financial advice and also tools to help you manage those back-to-school expenditures with ease.
Oh, absolutely. And there's no need to face your struggle on your own. I mean, you have two compadres right here with you. And of course, Absa's there along with you too.